Hi, welcome to Dr. Joe Academy reading and writing class. Okay, it's still 9:29. We'll just wait for Chloe to join in and then we'll get started with the class.
It turns out because of the day. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Because of the daylight saving time, our class is moved back for 1 hour, so Chloe will still be class until 15 minutes into the class. She will join 15 minutes later.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. All right. Before we get started, Lewis, did you get to actually I forgot to send in the link and everything. Let me go ahead and do that. But Lewis, did you get a chance to complete your homework?
Um, Actually, I didn't write it myself because I was going to take the SAT test and another competition, so I didn't have much time.
Okay, no worries. Do you know when your essay is due for that class?
It was due last week, so I already submitted it.
Okay, great. Were you able to make the changes to the essay before submitting it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so we'll skip over the homework take up for now. I guess in this case, yeah, we'll skip over the homework take up and we'll get into our primary lesson for today. We're looking at how to identify themes in literature. Okay, let me make this full screen. Most likely we'll get through this portion and then Chloe would most likely be joining us for the activities. And then later on, we're going to be doing a novel analysis. This is going to take a majority of our class time. So for this novel analysis, rather than focusing on books that you're already given, you're going to be choosing a book that you recently read, something of your own choice. Again, this class is just kind of practice until we get a next assignment to look at. And Lewis, do you guys have a new essay that you guys are focusing on or a new book that you're reading right now?
Uh, let me check. I think we're going to read something called. Wait, I'm actually not sure.
You're not sure yet? Okay, hopefully if you could take a look into that, that
Wait, I'll be sure soon because I'm checking right now.
okay, great. Yeah, just let me know as soon as you find out.
All right. We're writing the Shakespeare literature called Macbeth.
Macbeth. Okay, perfect. If you can go ahead and also send in, like, if you have any, do you have any guidelines for your essay yet?
Yeah, I do, but it doesn't seem to be about this literature.
Or your essay would be on another something else that you guys are reading?
I'm actually not sure. Let me just send you the prompt.
Okay.
Do I send it through the email?
What email do you currently have?
Uh, Wait, let me check.
Uh,
I actually can't remember it.
okay, it's fine. Let me just send you a new email in the chat, and then you can send it into that, and then that would be helpful. Yeah, if you could just send in all of this, we'll have next week's class more aligned with these guidelines. But yeah, it would be great if you could just send it everything to the email that I just sent it to the chat. Then let me also send in this link as well.
Yeah, I just sent you the entire prompt.
Okay, perfect. So after we go through this lesson, while you're working on the activity, I'll take a look through that and then we'll discuss that after we're done taking up this activity. Okay,
All
so
right.
in literature, understanding themes is key to grasping the deeper meaning of a story. A theme is a central universal idea, lesson, or message explored in literary work. Themes are essential as they provide insight into the human condition, offering a broader truth that applies both to the fictional world and the reader's life. In this comprehensive exploration, we dive into what is theme and themes in literature, uncovering their importance and impact. Okay, Louis, can you go ahead and read this slide?
Okay. Themes in literature are the core concepts that stories revolve around. What is a theme? Here's a definition. Theme definition. A theme encapsulates the central idea or message that an author conveys through their work. Authors use characters, plots, and settings to convey these ideas. Think of themes as a backbone, providing structure and meaning. Every piece of literature carries themes, waiting for readers to uncover the layers. A theme encapsulates the central idea or message that an author conveys through their work. Themes serve as an underlying framework that adds depth and resonance to literary works. They offer readers a lens through which to interpret the story's events, messages, and what is a theme. Themes may not always be explicitly stated, but they create a cohesive thread that ties the narrative together and provides insight onto the author's intentions. Themes resonate with readers on a personal level, inviting them to contemplate and relate to the story's universal truth.
Okay, so the importance of themes in literature. Themes like love, bravery, and survival resonate across literature. These themes create connections between readers and characters. So, for example, in To Kill a Mockingbird, the theme of fairness prompts us to question societal values. Themes bridge the gap between fiction and real life, speaking to the universal struggles. The emotional core of literary works, themes resonate with readers by touching on fundamental aspects of the human experience. They offer a lens through which we can examine our own lives, values, and beliefs. Love, courage, and survival are recurring themes that evoke empathy and draw readers into the character's world. By tapping into these universal themes, authors invite readers to reflect on their own beliefs and emotions. Recognizing themes requires an keen eye that and an understanding of the subtleties within the narrative. It involves analyzing character motivations, plot developments, and emotions evoked by the text. By identifying themes, readers gain a deeper appreciation of the author's intentions and the layers of meaning within the story. Okay, and Louis, can you go ahead and read this slide?
Okay, theme examples, common themes in literature. Several themes frequently appear across literary works, reflecting various aspects of the human experience: love, redemption, mortality, conflict between nature and humanity, good versus evil, power dynamics, individual versus society. Theme examples take the classic Romeo and Juliet, where the theme of love's enduring power unfolds amidst the feuding houses. Conversely, in George Orwell's 1984, themes of totalitarianism and resistance create a dystopian landscape. These themes connect readers to the characters' experiences, making stories relatable. To Kill a Mockingbird, the theme of justice resonates, questioning societal fairness. Themes capture the human struggle, transcending time and culture, love and relationships, the eternal struggle between good and evil, the transformative journey of coming of age, the dichotomy of freedom and oppression, and the evolving interplay between nature and technology. These enduring themes captive readers across eras.
All right, so let's take a look at love and relationships. Exploring the complexities of human connection, love, and relationships are themes that consistently appear in literature. Whether it's the passionate romance of Shakespeare or the modern exploration of companionship, these themes reflect our innate desire for connection. So the example is in Romeo and Juliet, the power of love is used as a theme to drive its tragic plot. When it comes to good versus evil, the eternal struggle between good and evil is a theme that captivates readers across genres. It examines morality, ethical dilemmas, and the choices characters make in the face of adversity. For example, the Lord of the Rings series classically explores the theme of good versus evil, portraying an eternal struggle between darkness and light, and highlighting the enduring resilience of goodness against overwhelming evil. In Lord of the Flies, it provides a profound exploration of the theme of good versus evil by illustrating how the veneer of civilization can quickly give way to the more primal instincts of power and cruelty. Okay, and Lewis, can you go ahead and read this slide?
Okay. Coming of age, the journey from youth to adulthood is a transformative experience that resonates with readers of all ages. Coming of age themes explore growth, self-discovery, um, and the challenges of transitioning into maturity. Theme example: J.D. Salinger's *The Catch in the Rye* is a seminal work that delves into the angst and alienation of transitioning from youth to adulthood, and the turbulent path to understanding oneself. Theme examples: S.E. Hinton's *The Outsiders* is a poignant exploration of the quintessential struggles of and revelations of adolescence. Themes of freedom, oppression delve into complexities of power dynamics, social injustice, and the pursuit of liberty. Literature often serves as a platform to critique society norms and advocate for change. Theme example: in John Steinbeck's *The Grapes of Wrath*, themes of inhumanity in capitalism and the importance of family and friendship are central. Theme example: George Orwell's 1984 explores themes of totalitarianism, freedom, and individuality. As the world evolves, so do our themes. The tension between nature and technology reflects our changing relationship with the environment and the ethical dilemmas posed by advancements in science and industry. Theme example: Aldous Huxley's *Brave New World* delves into the conflict between the natural human experience and the influence of advanced technology.
Okay, great. Themes over time. Analyzing cultural and societal influence. Themes in literature evolve alongside societal shifts and cultural changes. From the classics to contemporary works, themes adapt to reflect the concerns and aspirations of each generation, offering insights into the collective human experience. Authors often revisit classic themes, applying them to contemporary context to shed new light on age-old concepts. For instance, the theme of identity is explored in both Shakespearean plays like Hamlet and more modern works like John Polidori's *The Namesake*. In Hamlet, the protagonist's struggle with self-identity is entwined with his quest for revenge, highlighting the tension between one's internal perception and external expectations. On the other hand, The Namesake delves into the intricate layers of cultural and personal identity, following the journey of an immigrant family in a foreign land. These different interpretations of the same theme offer readers an opportunity to consider how societal shifts influence the way themes are portrayed and understood. Though these evolving themes, Through these evolving themes, literature maintains its relevance, offering readers a way to explore the complexities of the human experience through a changing cultural lens. Themes hold a mirror to society's shifting dynamics, offering readers a lens through which to examine the perspectives and values of different eras. Just as a theme identifies takes on distinct dimensions in different time periods, themes such as love, freedom, and justice also adapt to address the unique challenges faced by each generation. Lewis, can you go ahead and read this slide?
How authors craft themes in literature. Crafting themes requires a deliberate and skillful approach. Authors, uh, Authors employ various literary devices to develop and convey themes effectively. Symbolism, allegory, motifs, and character arcs all contribute to the subtle layers of meaning that enrich a narrative and invite readers to engage on multiple levels. Authors strategically integrate symbols, motifs, and character development to convey the underlying messages of the stories. These thematic elements work together to create a cohesive and multidimensional narrative. By analyzing these components, readers can uncover the author's intentions and gain deeper insights into the story's meaning. Themes serve as a bridge between the fictional world and the reader's personal reflections, prompting them to contemplate their own experiences and beliefs.
Okay, great. So the role of reader interpretation. By connecting personal experiences to themes, readers find deeper meaning. Themes in literature have a remarkable ability to resonate with readers on a personal level. Themes invite readers to engage actively. They resonate differently with each person. By connecting personal experiences to themes, readers find deeper meaning. Reader interpretation plays a vital role in the discovery of themes. As readers engage with the story, they bring their own life experiences and perspectives to the interpretation of its themes. This interaction between the narrative and the reader's individual journey creates a deeply personal and introspective connection. Themes act as mirrors, reflecting in the complexities of human nature and inviting readers to explore their own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs in relation to the story. Educators utilize themes to engage students in critical thinking and promote literary analysis. By guiding students through the process of identifying, analyzing, and discussing themes, educators empower them to unlock the layers of meaning within a text. All right, and Lewis, can you go ahead and read this slide?
Okay, connecting with stories on a deeper level. The question of what is a theme uh, find its answer within the powerful conduits of themes in literature. Themes are integral to literature as they add depth and layers of meaning to story. They influence how stories are written and are often subjective, allowing for personal interpretations by readers. Themes in literature serve to connect readers more deeply with the narrative, encouraging reflection on both broader societal and personal issues. Uh, Understanding themes enriches the reading experience, allowing readers to gain deeper insights into both the narrative and the human condition. Through themes, literature becomes a powerful tool for reflection and understanding, transcending time and culture to connect with readers on a profound level.
Okay, so we're going to be working on this activity. Chloe, I think you joined in as well. Okay, great. Chloe, you did miss our lesson on practically themes, how to analyze them, and the importance of themes and the foundation creates with any piece of text it's used in. So right now, what we're going to be doing is reading these two passages and writing practically our own analysis of what the theme might be. So these passages practically describe the novel, and you're going to be reading this passage and kind of determining what would be the primary theme of this novel. I want you to write 2 to 3 sentences explaining what the theme of the story is based off the description and support your response with an example and a detailed explanation. We would spend about 5 minutes per passage. So we'll do both passages together. And then at the end, we'll be taking up both responses. Okay. And Chloe, yeah, I did send in the link so you can join into the Google Slides. Great. And okay, yeah, Chloe, can you go ahead and read passage one?
Okay, wait, it's mine. Okay. Lesson one. In the small southern town of Macomb during the Great Depression, Atticus Finch, a compassionate and upright lawyer, chose to defend Tom Robinson, a black man unjustly accused of assaulting a white woman. Despite facing social ostracism, threats, and the scorn of his community, Atticus stands firm in his commitment to justice and equality. His children, Scott and Jem, witness the harsh realities of racism and prejudice in their community, but also learn invaluable lessons about dignity, empathy, and human integrity from their father's unwavering moral stance. The trial and its aftermath exposed the deep-seated uh, racial tensions of the town, challenging the innocence of childhood with the complexities of human nature and social justice.
All right, so we'll start off with passage one. Before we get started with the activity, Chloe and Lewis, do either of you have any questions?
Wait, so we just write analysis for this passage?
Exactly. So this is practically a summary of a book, and you're analyzing to determine what are the primary themes. I would suggest keep it one theme, but even if you feel there's two important themes you need to talk about, that is fine as well. The response should be at least a minimum of 3 sentences, and we'll work on this for 5 minutes. Any other questions?
No
No
question.
questions.
Okay. Right now the time is 9:48. We'll work on this until 9. Okay, it's just turned 9:49. We'll work on this until 9:54.
Wait, can I know what we're going to do again?
Yeah, you're going to be reading this passage. Again, this is a summary of an existing book, and you're determining what is the primary theme of this book based off what we just read. So, what do you think is the theme of this novel? And you're going to be writing 3 sentences explaining why you think this is the theme. You're going to use evidence from this passage as well as give your explanation for why you think that is the theme. So, even if you want to refer to, for example, these list of themes right here, that would be a good start, but you can obviously stray away from the list. But I would say slide number 11 would be really great because it lists a lot of common themes in literature. Louis, do you still have any questions?
No question.
Okay. And just a reminder, in about 3 more minutes, we'll take up this activity. Okay, the time is 9:54. Can everyone go ahead and start sending in their responses? Chloe, can you go ahead and read your response?
Okay. The central theme of the story revolves around the struggle for justice and the fight against racial prejudice. Through Annika's Finch's character, the narrative explores the importance of standing up for what is right, even when it is unpopular or dangerous. An example of this is Atticus' decision to defend Tom Robinson, which not only puts his own life at risk but also brings scorn upon his family. His actions demonstrate a moral courage that transcends the fear of social repercussions, teaching his children and the reader about the true meaning of integrity and the necessity of challenging unjust systems.
Okay, really good job with your response. One suggestion I would have is when it comes to naming the themes, this is a really good thesis statement. The central theme of the story revolves around the struggle for justice and fight against racial prejudice. It's a good thesis statement, but when it comes to discovering the theme itself, the theme is generally usually one or two words, or like it's more like a word or a phrase. It's never too long. So for example, justice would be a good solid theme to put to this, or even prejudice would be something that fits well. So again, this is perfectly fine as it is. I'm just going to write themes. In this case would be justice and prejudice. And Lewis, can you please go ahead and send in your response? Lewis, can you please go ahead and send in your response?
Sorry, I haven't completed yet. I'm still working on it right now.
Okay, it's fine if you didn't get to finish the entire response. Can you just send
Can I
whatever?
have like 1 more minute? I think I can write a bit more.
Okay. All right. In the meantime, we'll read through passage two. I guess Chloe, can you go ahead and read the second passage?
Wait, I read?
Yeah. Honestly, I was just waiting for Lewis to finish his response. So can you just read the second
Oh,
passage? Yeah.
okay, sure. Well, that that is in a dystopian future, right? In a
Uh,
dystopian future,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
the third word, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, a dystopian.
Okay, thank you. In a dystopian future where totalitarian regime called the party suppresses all forms of individual expression and thought, Winston Smith, a low-ranking member of the ruling party in Oce- Oceania, begins to question the relentless pro propaganda and strict societal rules. Living in a society where every action is monitored and independent thinking is a crime, his growing depth and desire for freedom lead him to seek out forbidden literature and form a clandestine relationship with Julia, an act of rebellion that defies the party's op- oppressive codes. Their struggle for autonomy and truth becomes a symbol of the unyielding human spirit quest for identity, freedom, and love in a world governed by surveillance, fear, and conformity. However, the oppressive power of the regime challenges the very essence of personal rebellion and the possibility of an alternative future.
Okay, great. And yeah, I just wanted to go over certain words over here. So regime in general means it's practically a state of government. It's an organization. And the propaganda is practically when you're accusing the government of almost working against the state that they're governing. And if there's any other questions anyone has about any of the words on this passage, feel free to ask me, please. Okay, before I assign the time to work on this activity, Lewis will go over your response first. Okay, Lewis, can you go ahead and read your response?
Sorry, I was reading. I didn't realize I was muted. The central theme of To Kill a Mockingbird roots in the raw justice at the time setting of the story based on people's opinions. Humanity in the story determines what is right by face value instead of diving into what really is true. For example, Atticus stands for Tom Robinson in the story, demonstrating his pursuit of justice against an environmental blindness. His determination to preserve justice demonstrates the remaining good in a mess world, further reflecting the central theme of justice in the story.
Okay, great job. I just wanted to go over some corrections, primarily related to grammar. Let me just paste this over here. Okay, back over here. I'll just paste this over here. So this is kind of a revised version, and it also goes over the changes that were made. So the central theme of To Kill a Mockingbird is rooted in the flawed justice system of the story's time period. So wrong justice is turned into flawed justice system, roots in is turned into rooted. And then, okay, I'm just going to read from over here. Yeah, the time setting is changed to the story's time period. Face value is changed into appearance. Diving into is changed into delving into. Pursuit is corrected to be spelled correctly with the U instead of an E. And messed world is corrected into corrupt world. Again, this just makes it sound much more formal and overall better and solid response. Lewis, do you have any questions about the provided feedback?
No, I think it's really nice.
Okay, great. Perfect. So we'll move on to the second passage. We already read over this. And yeah, I guess we'll get started with the analysis activity. Before we get started, does anyone have any questions about the second passage? Okay, right now the time is 10:01. We'll work on this until 10:06. If anyone has any questions at any point, feel free to ask me. All right. The time is about to be 10:06 soon. Everyone can go ahead and start sending in their responses. Chloe, can you go ahead and read your response?
Okay. Sorry. The theme of the story revolves around the conflict between in- individual, individually and we call it oh my God.
Individuality and
Sorry,
totalitarianism. Totalitarianism.
okay, so oh my God, totalitarianism. Individuality and totalitarianism, as well as the struggle for freedom and truth in society that demands absolute conformity. An example of this theme is uh, Winston's internal conflict and his external actions, such as seeking out forbidden literature and engaging in a secret relationship with Julia, which represent his yearning for intellectual and emotional liberation. The detailed explanation lies in how these actions directly oppose the party's control, highlighting the human spirit in a desire for self-expression and the consequences of defying a regime that seeks to erase individuality.
Okay, great. And again, just to go over individuality and totalitarianism, but otherwise, really good job in terms of your response. This definitely does cover the primary ideas. And yeah, there isn't much I'll make in terms of changes. And Lewis, let me go ahead and paste in your response. Okay, Lewis, can you go ahead and read your response?
Now, the central theme in the passage, reflected from Spencer's actions, revolves around the desire for freedom and the bravery to fight back for it. His actions that questions the society introduces the characteristic of breaking the frame. I couldn't think of anything other than that.
Okay, yeah. No, honestly, the response itself is fine. Again, it's more like the first time around, just kind of grammatical mistakes that I want to go over, just because for these smaller activities, we have the opportunity to focus on them. The central theme in the passage, reflected through instead of reflected from, Smith's actions revolves. So rather than revolves around the desire for freedom and the bravery to fight for it. His actions that challenge. So rather than actions that questions, actions that challenge society. And instead of introduces, it would be introduce his characteristic of breaking the mold rather than breaking the frame. Breaking the mold would be the appropriate term that you would be looking for in this case. And Lewis, do you have any questions about the feedback that was provided?
No question.
Okay, great. And let me just go ahead and go over the activity that's going to take a majority of class's time. I'd say for the next 40 minutes or so, we are going to be working on this. And in the case that we are doing so, I know we won't get to complete the entire novel analysis, but I would expect at least the introduction and I would say 1 to 2 of the body paragraphs done. So what we're doing is you're choosing a classic novel that you have read or are familiar with. I do want both of you to let me know what books you're choosing, but I want it to be something that you recently read. Even though you wouldn't be able to get direct quotations from the book unless you go online or if you have the book in front of you, which would be great. It would be something that would be amazing if you can do that. But in the case you're not able to do that, think about the characters, plot developments, and setting and how it contributes to the theme. Be as specific to the story as possible, even if you are not able to use direct evidence from the story. Before I introduce the rest of the activity, Chloe and Lewis, do both of you have an idea of what novels you might want to focus on for this novel analysis?
We
Um,
must choose our own novel.
Yeah, you can choose your own novels, yes. I would suggest something that you read recently or something that you vividly remember, just because it'll make it much easier to write the essay. Okay,
I will just continue writing To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a
Yes.
Mockingbird. Okay, that's a great choice.
Yeah.
And Lewis, do you have any idea of what you might want to choose?
I think I read the same because To Kill a Mockingbird is a very easy topic.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's both of you. Okay, yeah. Both of you can focus on To Kill a Mockingbird. That's definitely fine. And yeah, let me just introduce the rest of the activity. So, what you'll be doing is identifying a central theme of the novel and writing a short essay discussing how this theme is developed throughout the story. Honestly, with the time we have left, I think you should be able to complete the entire essay. It is a much shorter essay. It's not a complete novel analysis. I would expect everything to be delved into properly. So make sure you have a specific focus on one theme. And in your body paragraphs, the way you structure it, each one of your body paragraphs should be one of the supporting reasons. For example, if you think justice is the primary theme of To Kill a Mockingbird, you might talk about Atticus and his relationship with Tom Robinson. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, what Tim Robinson or whatever his name might be, I cannot recall, but you could talk about the relationship between them, or you could talk about Scout's innocent perspective and how it changes throughout the book and how this connects to the theme of justice. So for each one of your body paragraphs, have a specific focus. The
How
main
many
goal is
body paragraphs do we need?
uh for your like I would suggest 2 to 3 body paragraphs. And if you don't get to complete
Okay.
your entire essay, it's fine, but I would suggest at least 2 paragraphs, but keep it to a maximum of 3. So you should also support your analysis with specific examples. And I did mention even if you don't have the physical book, you can get quotes from the book, or even if it's taking too much time to go online, just think about how you could be as specific as possible to the events that happen in the story. So the characters, plot developments, and setting. Even if you don't use direct evidence, be as specific as possible. So as mentioned, we'll work on this activity until 10:50. That'll give us, okay, honestly, we might need a little bit more time to take this up. So let's say until 10:45. And then around 10:45, we'll start taking up this activity. That should give us enough time to go through everyone's response as well as go through the feedback and then introduce the homework and writing assignment. So that should give you roughly about 30 minutes because it is about 10:15, and I'll be checking in halfway through the activity as well. Before we get started, does anyone have any questions about this activity?
No questions.
Okay, great. At any point, if either of you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay. Lewis, I do see your response in the chat, but I would definitely suggest you take this and break this down into an actual essay. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, my apologies. So continuing off where I left off, this is a good start, but when it comes to your introduction, you wanted to have a little bit more of focus. So, Lewis, would this be just your introduction, or would this be your first, would this be your entire response?
Um, I couldn't write anything more, so yeah, I guess this is the entire response.
Okay, so in the remaining time, we have about 15 more minutes. Lewis, I'm gonna suggest you try your best. Let me see if I could get you some notes over here. Give me a second. All right, so I'm just gonna give you a breakdown that I'm basing off your essay. We'll just paste this right over here. Okay, we'll paste this as your first part of your response and then the feedback that I'm giving over here. Right. And here, instead of just writing feedback, I'm gonna write guideline for essay structure. And let me organize this together. We're not going to go over your response right now. I want to give you a chance to finish a complete introduction, but I'll go over exactly what changes need to be made. So in terms of the introduction, briefly introduce To Kill a Mockingbird and its major themes of justice and bravery. Present the thesis statement, so how Harper Lee uses Atticus to embody justice and bravery, influencing the moral backbone of the story. And then your first body paragraph could focus on Atticus as a symbol of justice. Expand on Atticus and how he represents moral integrity and justice even when society is against him. Discuss his defense on Tom Robinson, emphasizing that his fight is against racial prejudice. Bravery in the face of adversity. This could be your second body paragraph. Explore how Atticus's actions demonstrate bravery, especially in defending Tom Robinson despite the social and physical threats he faces. Discuss how standing for justice in a biased society requires great personal courage. Impact on his children. Discuss how Atticus's unwavering commitment to justice influences Scout and Jem. Show how his lessons shape Scout's understanding of morality, justice, and fairness throughout the story. And for the conclusion, summarize how Atticus is the moral center of the novel. Reinforce the idea that his bravery and pursuit of justice make him a model of what is right in a deeply flawed world. So this is kind of a guideline that I based off what you wrote so far. And Lewis, based off this, would you be able to complete an introduction and maybe start on your first body paragraph?
Um, so first of all, I don't know what examples I can use. Second of all, like I just wrote parts of the body paragraphs, but I didn't give examples of it.
The thing is for this activity, like it's important that you have read the book before. So that's why when you chose To Kill a Mockingbird, have you read the book before?
Yeah, I have, but I forgot about the examples.
Oh, okay, okay. Again, that's why I was suggesting something that you vividly remembered because it will be easier to look for examples. But if you can look online, that would be your best. That would be what I would suggest the most. But in the meantime, you can still do your introduction without getting into the specific examples. So can you try and work on just an introduction for the remaining time? You have about 12 more minutes left.
All right.
Okay, perfect. And Chloe, how's everything coming along in terms of your response?
Fine.
Okay, great. So we still have, again, 12 more minutes until we move on to the final take up.
Okay.
Okay, Lewis, I do see your introduction over here.
Hold up, I'm about to finish the first paragraph.
All right, great job. Lewis, can you go ahead and read your response?
Hold up, I'm writing the conclusion.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. And Chloe, can you also get start sending in your response as well? Okay, great.
All right, I sent in my conclusion.
Okay, great. Let me just paste this in here as well. Okay, Lewis, can you go ahead and read your response?
All right. In To Kill a Mockingbird, Tom Robinson, a black man, is accused of harassing a white woman. Everyone concluded he is guilty, except for the lawyer, Atticus. Atticus promoted that everyone should look at the truth deep within the surface of what might happen. He pursues his justice in the wrong, racist society, which judges by the surface. His bravery and determination to preserve his heart in such an environment shines throughout the story of To Kill a Mockingbird. Therefore, the strong justice and bravery from the character Atticus reflects the theme of the story in To Kill a Mockingbird. This important sense of justice in the story demonstrates the author's message of people who's not willing to give in to a wrong environment. For instance, uh, and I didn't write the example here, his actions mirrors the justice from within which he preserves. Atticus did not speak for Tom Robinson for nothing, but he knew what he did was the right thing. Through the character Atticus as a vessel, Harper Lee shows the strong souls who scream for rebel against a bad environment and are not willing to give in and become one of the evil. It implies the theme of the story that justice will be pursued by certain people. Furthermore, the bravery that appears in Atticus contributes to the greatness of the story. To illustrate, uh, Atticus's determination to pursue his justice also poses an important theme to the story. Other than his strong sense of justice, his bravery kept him going against obstacles, including facing the unjust law and the doubts from all of his surroundings. His bravery took him through the difficulties, reflects not only the courage people need to fight back against the evil, but also the strength one need to accomplish anything. In To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee uses Atticus as a vessel to demonstrate the people who bravely fights back and preserves what they know is right. The theme of justice and bravery in the story brings up the question of the right and the wrong, promoting readers to further question about their opinions, which they haven't thought deeply and fairly about.
Okay, really good job with your response, Lewis. Let me just go over some points of feedback. All right, so in terms of clarity, fix errors like occurs should be accused and improved. Awkward phrases like scream for rebel should be changed to cry out for rebellion. In terms of examples, of course, adding specific examples would strengthen your analysis, but you mentioned that you had not too fond memory of the book itself. In terms of repetition, avoid repeating phrases like strong justice and bravery. Use synonyms like moral courage or integrity. In terms of structure, make each paragraph distinct. Focus on Atticus's justice in one and his bravery against external pressures in another. In terms of depth, deepen analysis by exploring why Atticus's actions matter in the context of the time period. In terms of conclusion, strengthen the conclusion by connecting the themes to broader societal lessons. And Lewis, do you have any questions about the feedback that was provided?
No question.
Okay, great. And Chloe, can you go ahead and read your response?
Okay, sure. The central theme of To Kill a Mockingbird is the loss of innocence and the moral growth that comes with it. This theme is intricately woven in the fabric of the story through the experiences of the young protagonist Scott Finch and her brother Jack, as they navigate the complexities of racial injustice and moral ambiguity with their small southern town of Macomb. Throughout the narrative, Scott Anderson's perspective allows readers to see the stark contrast between the town's outward appearance of civility and its underlying justice. The trial of Tom Robinson, a black man falsely accused of raping a white woman, serves as a followed a plot development that challenges Scott and Jen's understanding of their community and the world at large. The characters, particularly the father Atticus Finch, a prison lawyer who defends Tom, exemplify the moral courage required to stand up against society wrongs. The setting of Macon with its hot sleepy summers and the social structure provides a backdrop that both reflects and amplifies the theme. The town's collective memory and the legend of Redley recalls who becomes a symbol of goodness and protection, further illustrates the theme by showing how individuals can be misjudged and misunderstood. As Scott matures, she learns to see beyond the surface of people and events, recognizing the goodness in some and the flaws in others. Her evolving understanding of the world around her is a testament to the loss of innocence that comes with growing up, but also the wisdom and empathy that can emerge from such experiences. The novel's conclusion with Scott's realization that it is a sin to kill a mockingbird recapitulates the theme by suggesting that innocence should be protected, and that those who harm it are guilty of a grave moral failing.
Chloe, great job with your response. Let me just go ahead and paste some points of feedback that I want to go over. All right, in terms of clarity and focus, simplify complex sentences for better readability. For example, intricately woven into the fabric of the story could be more concise as central to the story. In terms of redundancy, avoid repetition. Ideas like loss of innocence and moral growth are repeated in different ways. Streamline by focusing on new insights in each paragraph. In terms of example depth, provide specific examples or quotes from the novel, such as moments when Scott's understanding shifts, for example, her conversation with Atticus or her interactions with Boo Radley. When it comes to the character analysis, strengthen character connections. Expand on how Boo Radley ties into the theme, rather than simply stating he is a symbol of goodness. The conclusion, the final sentence feels slightly over-explained. Condense the idea of protecting innocence and clarify the connection between mockingbirds and the moral message more succinctly. And Chloe, do you have any questions about the provided feedback?
No.
Okay, great. In terms of, all right, the homework, it says to complete the remainder of your essay, and that would be this in this case, and review the revisions made to your first draft. Again, that would be the feedback that was provided over here. So it would be great for homework for you both to revise your essays and make the changes. Both of you did finish your essays, which is really good and impressive within the given time during class. But you can make these changes again just to get better practice when it comes to literary analysis. This writing assignment is something that was introduced from before that I'm guessing both of you didn't get a chance to go through. So I'm just going to leave this still over here. It is something that was already introduced. It still has to do with the book that you read from before, but in the last 6 minutes of class, I actually did kind of want to go over the documents that were sent to me. Just give me 1 second while I take a look into this because I haven't opened them yet myself. Okay. Prompt. All right. All right, let me just go ahead and change my screen share and we'll take a look through this together. All right, okay. Okay, prompt, dramatis, personas, live expression, cast of characters for this essay you created. Okay, this is really interesting because honestly, even the activity, if both of you can remember from last week, is where we were actually writing dialogue between two characters ourselves. So it is really interesting that now both of you will be creating your own imagined dialogue. It's great that we got that little bit of practice last week, but okay, I'll definitely make sure our lesson is much more oriented with this. Both characters through dialogue should make an argument of how they behave justly in their story with a clear claim and evidence and respond to the other character's argument. Okay, great. All right. Okay. And the formatting, I just want to go through everything. Minimum 600 words, character one, character two. Okay. Okay, great. All right. So before I kind of just get into my thoughts on this. Chloe and Lewis, did both of you get a chance to start working on this assignment or no?
Uh, I haven't started yet. Isn't like not due until a long time later.
Okay, great. All right. So, do you know exactly when it's due, or like, is this your next upcoming assignment, or is there going to be something else that is due earlier?
This is the last writing assignment of this semester, and I'm not sure when it's due.
I
Oh,
thought we already submit this.
Wait, this is the last one. This is not exegesis essay.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. This is traumatized person essay. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, this is our last essay. It is due on November 29th.
November 29th.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And is there any other assignments both of you might have due before, or is this going to be the final, like, is this going to be final assignment for the
This
rest of
is
the
going
class?
to be the final big assignment for us.
Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, over the next couple of weeks, we'll kind of have focus on some smaller lessons as well, but for the majority, we'll work on this, and we'll get
Yeah,
this completed.
the book we're writing for this is Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Okay, great. So the characters you'll be choosing would be from Macbeth, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So for the next couple of weeks, yeah, we'll focus for next week. Primarily, we're going to be focusing on Macbeth, kind of breaking down the story, looking at the primary characters. The week after, we're going to be focusing on writing our own script as well. And then by November 29th, both of you should have a polished version of this assignment. So I'll definitely, let me just put this down in my notes as well to remember that Macbeth is what this is related to. Eight, right over grade 11, so 6. Okay, here. Bad. All right, great. So it shouldn't be too difficult. We'll take a look into Macbeth for next week. Did both of you start reading the book yet, or
Yes, we do start reading the book.
okay, fantastic. All right, so we'll definitely go through some of the books, especially focusing on the characters for next week. Otherwise, before I do dismiss the class, Chloe and Lewis, do either of you have any questions about the homework or the writing assignment or anything in general related to your assignment that you've been assigned as the final assignment?
No question.
Okay, great. All right, so the time is 11 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss the class. I hope everyone has a great week ahead of themselves. Take care. Bye.
You too, thanks.
Um,
Cheers. Bye.